Today, Lydia and I have arrived in Victoria, Canada. Victoria is the capital of British Columbia, and we're outside the iconic Empress Hotel. We have been to Victoria quite a bit in our life. We don't live so far away, maybe 6-7 hours, and so we like to come up here during the summer. So maybe every few years we come up and see Victoria. So here we are right in front of the harbor. They've got a whole boardwalk here that goes around, and in the summers they have a lot of artisans and crafts people down here selling their things, and it's kind of a festive atmosphere. Sometimes they're playing music. It's real pretty down here. Right now we are on a cruise on the Cunard Queen Elizabeth, and this was one of our last stops. And so today we've got several hours, and we're going to get out and see what we can find. Now here's real beauty in the harbor. Yeah. There hasn't been too much retail therapy on this trip, so this is a day we'll run around and hit a bunch of shops.
Yeah, maybe I want to ride horses here.
What does that mean?
Carriage.
Okay, you saw like a horse and carriage. Okay.
Yeah, before, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, before you saw it. Okay.
Yeah, and so
I thought maybe she saw it today because she mentioned.
And maybe we'll stop by in some places. Maybe a good one.
Oh, we'll take a look at the sites while we're walking through. So here we are inside the Empress Hotel. The Empress is right there on the harbor, and it's one of the main features that's recognizable about Victoria. One thing we like about Victoria is that it has a British feel to it. They really play that up, and so wherever you go, there's just the touch of Britain everywhere. And here at the Empress, they have a high tea, where they serve you all kinds of goodies, and it costs $109 per person. Here's a couple pictures of what they advertise for the high tea. So when we came into the Empress, Lydia went shopping, and I went to film the lobby where they do the tea room. And so now I've got to find her. I know I'll find her here somewhere shopping. And here she is in Designers International. These ladies really worked her over, boy. They were trying to sell her some really expensive stuff. Good news is for me, Lydia's thrifty. So today, since we do come to Victoria from time to time and have seen a lot of things, we're going to take it kind of easy and just walk through the town, see some areas we really haven't seen before. They've got a big shopping center, which is nice, and we did end up going in that for a little while. But we're going to just walk the streets, find some shops. But I'm also going to talk today about two of the places we really like in Victoria, which is the Bouchart Gardens. Amazing. And I think it's called the Craigendock Castle Mansion, and we're going to mention those a little bit later. We didn't make it to those, but I'm going to show some stuff about those because they are significant, and they're a good reason just for themselves to come to Victoria. But here we are walking through the downtown. Victoria is about 62 miles from Vancouver, Canada, which is about 100 kilometers. But surprisingly, it's also about 62 miles from Seattle, Washington, which again is about 100 kilometers. Here's one of our friend, the moose. We found mooses and bears all over town here for some reason. Standing out here in front of Rogers Chocolates. I just remember my mom always liked some certain kind of chocolates from there, but even she mentioned the other day she didn't even know what kind we used to get her. It's a pretty store. Now that I look closer, it might be these maple creams that my mom used to like. This is like one of their malls here, Bay Center. And we did go in there later for shopping. Usually when we come to Victoria, we hit the major focal points and that mall that I just showed you, but today we just got out on the street and we just kept walking. We wanted to see independent shops, things that we hadn't seen before, and it was a beautiful day. It really is a nice place, and Lydia found this dragon along the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you about a couple places that we like to visit in Victoria. So my number one top favorite place to go in Victoria, well, it's actually just north of Victoria, is the Bouchard Gardens. And it's just fabulous. As you can see, there's just a few pictures from their website, but it is so fabulous, so gorgeous, and it's definitely worth a trip. The best thing to do about when you go to Victoria is to go for at least a couple days. We're just here for a few hours, but if you go, this is the place to go. It costs about $30 to go to the gardens. So this castle was built by the Dunsmore family back in the 1890s. He was a wealthy industrialist. They named it Cragdurrock, based on an old Gaelic phrase which means rocky, oaky place. What I remember about touring it is that it had a windy staircase, but it's definitely a place to visit when you come to Victoria. Overall, Victoria has pleasant weather. It is very mild. They say that in the summer they only have one day over 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and during the winters they only have 10 nights per year that are below freezing. Well, that's pretty moderate. Here's a funny painting we found of Jackie Gleason from the old Honeymooners TV show. Another feature of Victoria's weather is that it stays fairly dry for being a city in the northwest, which is known for its rain. The Olympic Mountains are nearby, which actually is one of the rainiest places on Earth, but because they're behind it, it casts a rain shadow, which keeps it drier than most cities in the region. And when it does rain, 2/3 of the rain come within the 4 months of winter, so it doesn't affect the city throughout the year all that much. Well, now we're back in front of the Empress on a double-decker bus, headed back to the cruise port so we can get on the Cunard Queen Elizabeth cruise ship that we've just been on for, we've been on it for a 19-night cruise. So if we started in Tokyo, we went up to Alaska, and now we're working our way back to Vancouver, British Columbia, and then we'll head home from there. But it's been a great trip. We enjoyed seeing Victoria again. If you ever get a chance to go, just do it. It's very quaint. Like I said, it's got a British feel to it. It's beautiful. We got the waterfront here. If you could go sometime in the summer or autumn or late spring, that's the time to do it. Thanks so much for watching. We love to travel. We'll keep making videos. Hope you enjoy watching some of our others.